something else people are monetizing is our extremely high tobacco excise and lax law enforcement. The head of British American Tobacco has come out in a rare intervention slamming Australia, saying our illegal tobacco market is the worst in the world. He said he thinks 65% of all cigarettes and 80% of nicotine are illegal, and this is what he said. I was pretty shocked. It's the worst I've seen. I've not seen or heard of firebombings, retribution or gang warfare on this level before in any market. The UK, for example, has a long-standing illicit problem, maybe a third of the market, but it's not creating the level of social upheaval we're seeing in Australia. I mean, that's a pretty extraordinary intervention. It's not anything we don't already know, but it is true. We are seeing almost weekly firebombings. One crime boss, the exiled Iraqi criminal Kazem Hamad, has reportedly made around $1.2 billion in just 2 years from the illicit tobacco trade. Just extraordinary levels of illegality going on, seemingly without any punishment.
And still no one's doing anything about it.
No.
And this is what I don't get is, you know, for years I've been talking about the excise argument, that I think the excise is too high. I mean, I think that's just unfair to begin with. But clearly it has contributed to this market. But a lot of people say, because, you know, the smoking rate in Australia is between 8 and 10%. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people say, well, to hell with them. I don't care whether you charge me $100 for a pack. It's not my bloody problem. I don't smoke.
Except it's becoming our problem because of the crime factor.
And surely at this point, even if you don't care about the excise, you start to go, if you've got shops regularly being firebombed, it is causing major crime issues. Yeah. There are at least 5 people who've been killed in relation to the tobacco wars in this country so far. If you live in an apartment building that has a tobacconist down below, insurers are reticent to insure you or charge you higher premiums because of the risk of the building going up. If you're another small business who is in the same block as a tobacconist now, they're being charged as much as 50% extra on their insurance premium because of the risk of a tobacconist being firebombed. This is at the point now where, like any other discussion we would have had about, you know, big drug problems on the street or whatever, this is a major crime problem, not just about the cigarettes, it's about what's going on everywhere else. And apart from that, it's just a blight on all of our high streets. So the fact that both federal and state governments have really done very little about this and are still doing very little about it, to be perfectly honest, is staggering.
Well, the head of British American Tobacco said that the problem is pretty simple. It's an economic problem. If you can buy a packet of cigarettes for $15 instead of $40, well, most people are going to go for the $15 pack, and that's why 80% of the nicotine trade in Australia now is illicit. And what started with good intentions, as you said, the intent was to dissuade people from smoking and the cost that that has on the health system. But now the unintended consequences are far worse, and surely the government have to make a decision.
And it's done stuff like the vapes
They can't
as well.
keep going this way.
No. Yeah. And like the vapes, like they banned them, and you can go and get a prescription vape, but there's like 1,000 people in the country who do that. The rest of it is the illegal market.
Talk to any teenager about where they can get vapes, and they will tell you immediately where they can find them.
Absolutely.
I won't tell you how I know that, but I know that for a fact.
You're asking for a friend.
Well, for friends of friends, yeah.